Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Don't Be Afraid of the News. We are here at the corner of Union and Cooper in the heart of Midtown, Memphis, Tennessee, here at the beautiful Pumpkin Patch, shooting this week for our copy of the news. You can see behind us, there's all kinds of things going on right now. Not only can you buy a pumpkin, you can go to the new Playhouse on the Square and go check out a play because we're in the middle of Indie Memphis Film Festival right now. And you can also, from here in the back, you can voice your opinion using your car horn. We'll get to that here in a little bit. Our first story of the day, Tylenol product recalled after smell complaints. There have been complaints that Tylenol's 8-hour 50-count caplets have been causing nausea due to odors once the cap has been removed. They trace this to a chemical called, literally, follow me on this, 2,4,6-tribromonosol. I'm probably wrong, but that's what it sounds like. It's what it's spelled like. In November, Tylenol arthritis pain was recalled due to odors that led to nausea and stomach pain. In January, an undisclosed amount of, Motrin and Benadryl were recalled due to similar complaints. Over 50 versions of over 50 different kinds of the child versions of these drugs have been recalled with odors. And they're not really figuring out what the hell is going on. A congressional committee is now doing an inquiry to see what is going on. All right, next. Gay bishop says religion is killing teens. Bishop Gene Robinson says that anti-gay religious fervor is causing teens to commit suicide, gay teens, to commit suicide. This is from, he says that he backs this thing by saying when people like, excuse me, let me get this right, people like Mormon leader Boyd Packer convince gays that they are useless to society and their worthlessness to the humanity, they end up going off in themselves. Duh. That's all I got to say. Sorry, kids. Grandpa doesn't always know right. Believe in your heart. Ask a friend. Megachurch seeks bankruptcy protection. Southern California megachurch Crystal Cathedral Ministries will enter bankruptcy as it faces creditors and a rapid decline in donations. It's hard to feel sorry for a church that is 2,800 seats and made completely of glass. This is a little much for me. The troubled economy is what they blame for their lack in donations. But there is good news on the side. Windex is in talks to sponsor the church. Okay, the reason you're hearing honks in the background this week, people, and one of the reasons we're doing it where we are here at the corner is because there's this beautiful church next to me, Union Avenue United Methodist Church, that has been closed down for, I'm guessing, at least a year now. And there's a protest going on CVS, the company CVS, the pharmaceutical branch like Walgreens, is buying out the church. They're buying the land. They're going to open it there. There are people mad as all get out because they believe it should be saved, that the building should be saved. We shouldn't tear down a church. Now, there's a couple guidelines people aren't paying attention to. Nobody has the money in Memphis to pay for this church to stay where it is. There's no individual person. Tony Stark does not exist in real life. There's no multi-zillionaire who can just drop a check and is going to save this. The city doesn't have the money to back it up. It's not a historical landmark. And they're just mad because it's going to be a CVS. If this was going to be some kind of organic grocery or some kind of scenester-based restaurant or some kind of bistro or something like that, nobody would care. Nobody would care. They'd be lining up in droves to go do it. And let's take another thing when we think about this. We're in Memphis, Tennessee. We have plenty of churches. Plenty of churches that are actually being used. This isn't even being used except for homeless people who sleep on the steps. Break it down. Put something else up. I'm not a fan of CVS myself, but you need to come up with a much better argument if you're going to argue to keep this church alive. All right, our fourth story of the evening. Does your hair smell like the dead? Molly Scruton of, where is this friend? Molly Scruton of Portland, Oregon, gave this treatment called Brazilian Blowout to about 20 clients and used it on herself until all of a sudden her clients started complaining of stomach irritations. She started feeling ill herself, so she had the product tested by the Oregon Health and Science University. This is unbelievable. They tested the substance and found formaldehyde levels up to 10 times the allowed usage inside. Now, I don't know what's more messed up, the fact that hair products contain formaldehyde or that this company was using 10 times the amount in their stuff to make it really work for you. Because I guess their old Brazilian stuff just wasn't getting it straightened enough. And I mean, they want it straight like, dead straight, hardcore straight. So The FDA has been notified and is looking in and making an inquiry on this. It seems a lot of stuff this week is about people starting all kinds of crap and them just building inquiries around it. Next one. CPR is now spelled C-A-B. All right, when you're shown what CPR is, we've all had CPR classes, hopefully, and the first thing they teach you to do, check the airway for blockage, give breaths, and circulate the blood. That means, right off the bat, you're putting your mouth on someone else's mouth and you start mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. Well, what they've learned is, what CAB is going to teach you is that when someone has just had a heart problem or something like that in front of them, they have enough oxygen going through their body at that time, but that there is no need for mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. It's just a matter of pushing on their chest and making sure that the blood is still circulating. This is great news for anybody that doesn't like kissing on the first date. Vitamin B12 may help ward off Alzheimer's. People who people who consume a lot of fish or vitamins and stuff rich in B12 in certain cereals may be at a lower risk of developing Alzheimer's. 271 individuals aged 65 to 79 were tested over 7 years. After all this testing over 7 years, they found that 2% of the entire group, the B12 reduced the risk of getting Alzheimer's by 2%. Now, I'm not sure if this 2% is worth even mentioning or that even what the whole thing means, but it's kind of cool. But the thing about B12 is it may help your Alzheimer's, but can you remember ever to take it? So we here at Don't Be Afraid of the News are all about opening our mouths and saying what we feel. So from all of us here at the Pumpkin Patch, here at beautiful Union and Cooper, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for watching. Don't be afraid of the news. What?